I'm going to be explaining type 2 ternary ionic bonds. So for this, like before, we're going to be using Roman numerals in our nomenclature, and we're going to be using the polyatomic ions on the back for the formulas, and also the nomenclature, but more importantly for the formulas. So, um, first, to give an example for the formulas, let's say you're given a name of cobalt, and then 2-dichromate. So, as you know, cobalt has, you're going to write out the symbols for them. So cobalt is CO, and it gives you the charge for it. And you're just going to be using 2 for that. And dichromate, which is on the back of your periodic table. If you find it, it'll give you the formula of Cr2O7, and its charge is -2. Now in this case, as said before, if the charges are the same, they're just going to cancel out. So your final answer for this would be COCr2O7. And that would be your answer. Now, for another example, let me just erase this. Let's say it gives you iron, 4, sulfate. Like said before, iron is a transition metal, so it gives you the charge for it, and its symbol is Fe, and its charge is 4. And for sulfate, again, if you look on the back of your periodic table, you're going to see that its formula is SO4, and its charge is -2 or 2 minus, 2 negative. Now for this, what it's gonna turn, you're gonna have to simplify, but before you simplify, to make it easier for yourself, you can just do the cross method as before. So it's gonna turn into Fe2SO4. Remember, you have to write it out in parentheses since you're adding on a subscript. And that's going to turn into a 4. And if you notice, like I said a second ago, you are able to simplify. So you can you can divide both of these by 2, and you would be left with a final answer of Fe. The 2 turns into a 1, so you would leave that, and then you would again write out your parentheses. SO, the subscript stays with it, and you would adding on the new subscript. 4 divided by 2 is 2, so that would just be your answer for this. Now, when you get to the nomenclature, you're going to find that it gives you a formula, and again, you're going to be using the Roman numerals and the back of your periodic table again to write it out. So, for example, if it gives you a formula of Pb CO3 2, you're gonna write out your the element names out first. So this is gonna be lead, and you're gonna write this out in write out your parentheses, and you'll be adding on the charge later. And this is carbonate. And as said before, in a previous video, you are finding the charge of the second element, which is carbonate, and you're going to multiply it by the subscript. So you're going to look at the charge for carbonate, and the charge for it is 2 plus. You can find this in the back of your periodic table. And like before, you're going to be multiplying these two and dividing it by this number. Now, in this case, there's a 1, but it's not written out. So you would just be multiplying 2 by 2, you get 4, divided by 1, 4, and writing that out as a Roman numeral. And this would be your final answer. For another example, let's take SN3 and PO4, 2. The PO4 is phosphate, so if you look at that on the back of your periodic table, you'll find that its charge is 3 minus. Now, you're going to write out the names of the elements, so this is 10. Leave the parentheses for the Roman numeral, and then phosphate. Now, you're going to multiply the 2 and the 3, and then divide it by this number. See, in this case, there is a number there, so 2 times 3, disregarding the negative, it's going to give you 6, and then if you divide the 6 by 3, it will give you 2, and you're just going to put that as your Roman numeral there, and that would be your final answer. So, to wrap it up, this is basically the same as type 1, except you're just adding that Roman numeral, and it gives you the charge instead of you having to find the charge. And that is all for now.